What's up? This is one video that risks life, limb, and everything. This game is a crooked business. A lot of things at stake. Your livelihood. But ever since this time, back in the days, I knew back then what I know today. I knew back then, seeing something firsthand in the 90s, things got done in a whole different manner than how people were used to seeing it being done. Quiet people, very quiet people, quiet men handling large wars. And these quiet men went around doing things that you would not believe or you would not understand. Suge Knight knew a lot of these quiet men who could get things done. I don't know if you ever watched the show Billions. No, not Jay Prince. That's a different type of quiet man. The reason why Axe could be Axe is because he know that quiet man. Bobby Axelrod. When Bobby Axelrod has a problem, a real problem, who is the only guy he can go to get it done when it's a major problem that requires some action? He goes to his quiet man. And the quiet man fight wars. They fight, they extract information, they get what they need to get. I'm going to tell you like this here. There are a lot of quiet men in this world as far as that do these jobs. And a lot of you might have saw as murder, suicide, or he took his own life. I'm going to just tell you right now, don't believe any of those, they took their lives. Whenever you got a question, if somebody took their life and they had a successful career, you're like, well, with a job like that, what kind of, even if let's say that the record company was losing money and he was going to get fired, there's other jobs you can get. You got the credentials to get it done. That fight large wars. Please understand it because it's so true. It is 100% true. Now, there was a situation in which somebody was supposed to make some money disappear, to make some things look like it wasn't supposed to look. Instead, things leaked out to the press, very shockingly to everybody else. Like, how did the press get this information? The person decided not only were they gonna not play ball with the company, they decided to go against the actual structure in which the company was founded, even though they used to eat with the company. So now you crossed them. And the person was like, hey, if you come after me, I'm protected. I got all the information I need. They said, okay. Came there. And allegedly did some things. And the person decided that there was no need for him to go on living anymore. And that evidence he had, well, let's just say only him and God knows about that. Sounds like a motion picture, doesn't it? But this is reality. A multi-million-dollar rap star was about to have something come out that was going to incriminate him, destroy him, and cost him a multi-million-dollar deal. Multi-million. He stood to lose millions, lose a deal he had in place and structure that would destroy his brand. It would destroy everything he had. So steps were made. Procedures were taken. And the threat was removed alongside with some other things. She was removed. And what she had was apparently very damaging. To this day, we don't know what it is. And I don't think I want to know. Quiet men fight large wars. Please understand that. Holla. Now, there's another instance where artists found out that their money was coming up short in some of the publishing and royalties they were getting shorted on. They decided to go out and hire a lawyer to go and check this out. A Mr. Wise. W-I-E-S-S, not Wise. Mr. Wise decided that it was going to be in his best interest when he found this information to go back and bring it to his clients. Mr. Wise is intercepted. Mr. Wise was intercepted, King Team. And once Mr. Wise were intercepted, a conversation was had. And once this conversation was had, Mr. Wise decided he was no longer interested in helping out on the case. He decided he needed to go home, quit his practice, quit everything. That was very weird. So later on, like months later, an envelope comes in the mail. It goes to the lawyers of Ja Rule, I think I might have said already. So I don't think I'll release nothing too much. Okay. The letter went out to a couple of people that were associated with a couple of people. The letter went out to the lawyers of some people from Murder Inc. and a couple of other artists. In detail, they saw a lot of their royalties, a lot of their money's going away. The paperwork came in is what the lawyer did. So when the guy retired from his practice and disappeared, Mr. Wise got wise and said, you know what? I'm going to still send them the information. They ain't going to know it came from me. So they got this information showing proof that they have been scammed out of all this money. So one of the people who was involved had a heart attack and died in court. A lot of other different things transpired during this lawsuit that was going on that nobody knew about and nobody was writing about. This whole court trial. It involved a lot of people, buddy. And this whole scam, and the people that sat at the head of the scam were threatened to be exposed in these court documents. So of course, they don't want all these documents revealed. So people stopped coming to trial. They were sick. Family members died mysteriously. The trial was a mess till they ended up deciding to settle out of court. They dumped it all on one party, and everybody else just had to egg it. This thing is bigger than just Lior. There's invisible faces, invisible names. You don't know them. They're there. You just ain't talking about them. Believe me, if you talking about them, it ain't them. Quiet men for large wars. Putting my own life at risk. I received an email warning me as to what would happen to everything that I love as far as YouTube and everything. They're going to destroy my page, take everything away from me if I continue to go down this road. And I didn't even do anything. But the video, they had never seen it and never heard of it until this thing with Dame Dash and Lior kicked back off again. They saw my truth behind the Dame Dash and Lior Cohen video. In that video, I start naming other people that should have been named. I start talking about people behind the scenes. And once I start talking about people behind the scenes, now we have a problem. So now they can say, oh, well, that's just a spam email, some hater. Nah, that wasn't a hater. That was a warning. Because since that email, have you noticed my account has dropped in viewership dramatically on my main page? Everything, all of a sudden, my views have dropped dramatically. I have almost 150,000 subscribers, and I could barely get 2,000 views on a video. That's unheard of. So that means they are aware. And because they are aware, they also know that they are not in favor of what I'm saying on the videos. It does not coincide with what they want to hear. Now, you ready for some more? Y'all ready for some more? Quiet man had to go to Connecticut to visit a man over a very serious situation. This man, hip hop artist, decided it would be in his best interest to launch an investigation and hire a private firm to investigate and find out what were the details and dealings behind his albums. He wanted to know why his albums were having some issues with distribution. He wanted an investigation to find out what was going on. He hired a private firm. Not only did they know he hired the private firm, once they realized, and they did the trail all the way back to where it would come from, they reached out knowing what they were going up against. They didn't inform their client. They informed the people whom they were about to cross and said, hey, I'm sorry, but I got to let you know, such and such hired us to do this. We would never, ever cross you. But such and such hired us to do this. And they said, oh, really? Thank you for bringing us this information. Continue with your investigation. And then we'll tell you what to send him, what you found. So, once the artist got back the information that the trail went cold here and there and that everything was peaches and cream, he had no choice but to go along with what they laid out. Said, okay, well, maybe it's right. Maybe this is what it is. And boy, was that person punished beyond belief. Stripped of almost everything he owned, banished, bankrupt. They did everything to that artist to make an example. Invisible men fight quiet wars. Always understand that. I'm out.